Happy Monday, boys and girls. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Today, we are going to be reading Chapter 69, The Defective Robot. Last we left off, there were three giant robots that had arrived on the island after the ship had sailed by the giant bonfire, and they're known as the Ricos. So here is Chapter 69, The Defective Robot. Hello, ROSM Unit 7134. We are the Ricos. We are here to retrieve all ROSM units. The cold, flat voice came from Rico 1. He and his partners stood absolutely still and kept their glowing eyes locked on their targets. There are 4 others, said Roz, but they are dead. We have already located the remains of the older units, said Rico 1. We will collect them later. Now come with us. The 3 Ricos motioned Roz to the airship, but she didn't move. Where have you come from? She said. The Ricos turned and stared at Roz. Do not ask questions, said Rico 1. Where will you take me? Do not ask questions. Why must I leave? Do not ask questions. I will not go anywhere until I get some answers. There was a brief silence as Rico 1 computed his next move, and then he began to speak. 1 year ago, a cargo ship carrying 500 ROSM units was sunk by a hurricane. 495 units have been retrieved from the ocean floor. We have come here in search of the last 5. We have located them. ROSM Unit 7134, you are the property of Tech Lab Industries. We will return you to the factory, where the makers will refurbish you and sell you to a worksite. You will then live on that worksite indefinitely. Now come with us. But I live here, said Roz. That is incorrect. ROSM Unit 7134, any further resistance will be proof of defectiveness, and we will deactivate you. But Roz had more questions. Who are the makers? What is my purpose? Why can I not ask questions? This unit is defective, said Rico 1 to his partners. Commence deactivation. In perfect unison, the Ricos stepped toward Roz. They raised their blocky hands, ready to restrain their target, ready to shut her down with the press of a button, but a loud squawk and a streak of feathers cut them off. Stay away from my mama! Bright Bill swooped into the meadow and started hopping around, ready to defend his mother. The Ricos stopped and looked down at the goose. Of course, they didn't understand his words. They heard only meaningless squawks, and then they heard their target squawking back to them. Bright Bill, get out of here, said Roz in the language of the animals. These robots are dangerous. What do they want? They want to take me away. The Ricos stared at their target, trying to understand why she was exchanging noises with a goose, and then new noises began rising up. Rustlings and shrieks echoed from the forest. Animals were gathering. Their wild voices called out to one another. Roz needs our help! Those robots want to take her away! We have to do something! The uproar in the forest grew louder and louder. The Ricos peered past Roz toward the mysterious noises, but saw only foliage. Suddenly, shadows swept across the meadow, and Bright Bill's flock drove onto the Ricos. The geese furiously flapped and pecked and wrapped their wings around the robot faces, clinging to the Ricos like feathery masks, distracting them, blinding them. Bright Bill turned to his mother. Run! Chapter 70. The Hunt Begins. While his flock distracted the Ricos, Bright Bill darted around behind them and desperately searched for buttons. He had once shut down his own mother with a click, and now he would do the same thing to the intruders. But he found no buttons on these robots, only smooth surfaces. Clearly the Ricos were not designed to be shut down so easily. Giant hands swung through the air, and the geese were swatted away. Loudwing was plucked by her foot and flung to the ground. She crawled into the weeds as the others scrambled up over the trees. A quick scan by the robots revealed that Roz was gone. The 3 Ricos turned and marched back to the airship. The door hummed open and the robots disappeared inside. And when they stepped back into the meadow, Each was holding a silver rifle in his hands. The hunt for Roz was on. Without speaking, the Ricos marched away from one another, fanning out in their standard search pattern. Rico 1 marched straight toward the southern tip of the island. Rico 2 marched straight up the mountainside, and Rico 3 marched straight into the forest. Our next chapter for tomorrow is titled The Forest Assault. Getting pretty exciting. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed today, and I look forward to reading to you tomorrow.